2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Welcome everybody to Teaching Crypto. Mr. FOMO, it's been a long day. This is AZcrypto. Welcome. Please, in days like this, it would help us out if you would hit that like button. Please subscribe. We're going to be here no matter what. And we're going to talk about the market today because it was a very monumental day. Not a lot went well. And BTC is struggling and a lot of the alts are bleeding. And we have been here before for you newbies. This did happen, May and stretched into late July. And there is a lot of fear, definitely. But we're here to say that the fundamentals have not changed for BTC and the future of crypto. So even though we're having a really bad day and the last couple months have been great, if you really believe in the fundamentals, Mr. FOMO, you shouldn't really be losing sleep.
Yeah, we've said it before. If you believe something is going to be at a much higher price, 4, 10, 20 years from now, then it doesn't matter if it goes up by 10,000 or down by however much. You have that long term, that long view of it, and when you hit your mark, you'll hit your mark. But the idea is that the inflationary pressure, the fact that they're not minting anymore. So many of the Bitcoin have already been lost because people lost their keys in their wallets. Like you said, the fundamentals haven't changed. The idea behind the technology hasn't changed. None of the technology, the system, there's been no crashes or hacks or anything weird like that. So it's nothing. It's volatility, as some influencers say, is the price of admission in crypto.
And we normally do quick flip Friday. We're not going to do that today because I can't in good conscience tell you to go buy something and put a ton of money in it because next week is futures week. And we were anticipating that not to be a great week. And it may take a while for us to completely recover. We'd be lying to our audience if we said, hey, February, we're back to 50K. Alts are going to just jump back up, all-time highs by Valentine's Day, by spring, 60K. We don't know that. We hope so. But we'd be lying if we told you that was going to be the case for sure because we just don't know right now.
Yeah, even the influencers that have millions of followers, they're not predicting next month anymore. Because what did it go? October, and then it was November, and then it was December, and then January is going to be great, and now here we are. So I think even they have kind of gotten off of that hamster wheel, and they've started to say, well, we're going sideways.
Our friend George from Cryptos Are Us, the title of his video last night is "We Got Effed." So he's normally very, very positive. So I knew I kind of had a bad feeling last night. And I watched some of his show today and he said, are we in trouble short term? Well, yes. And he never says that at all. So when he said that was a bad sign. He still long term thinks we're in good shape. And now is when is the bounce? And that's going to be hard to predict. The funny thing is there are some amazing prices that we would have killed for 3 or 4 weeks ago on some of these coins. I'll just give you one right now. I'm not saying to buy this, but Engine is well below $2 now. So here's the thing. I'm not saying buy. It's not going to be a quick flip. But if you do have money and you're willing to wait several months, buying Engine, let's say it gets down to 150, it's a great it's probably going to be a great investment. I don't think, and we don't know where the bottom truly is. I can't see us, and we'll discuss this. We're not TA experts. I can't see us going below 30. We might touch 29 something, but it's going to be interesting. 35 is a number I'm looking at. We might go below that because it's futures week, but
we might wick down. We might wick down, but you'll have to have your trading bot ready to catch that price.
I have a hard time. Yeah.
And I don't know how much lower than we can actually go from here because since the summertime when we wick down to 29 and hit bottom, we've also had tons of money that's been poured in. You know, MicroStrategy, El Salvador, they're buying the dips like no other. And so I think that there's maybe a little bit of a higher floor there. You know, I think we may wick down, but I don't even think we've got 30 in us. I think 35 and then somewhere between 35 and 30, we'll find a floor and then we'll bounce back. But like you said, I don't see it happening anytime soon, especially with the Fed on the verge of raising interest rates. And, you know, everybody gets real scared when that happens. And I don't think people are going to do a lot of buying if the Fed starts raising rates.
Did you know that Bitcoin addresses are an all-time high actually today? Very ironic. So
Yeah, so
behind the scenes, people are buying. Now we have a lot of manipulators that have a ton of Bitcoin and they're able to grind the price down. I think a lot of people that, you know, that got in, these people that are dumping these stocks supposedly are also dumping BTC. But again, it's not like we've gone down to 20, like you said. It's not like we're at 20K. It's not like
Mhm.
we're at 25K. I think if we can hold above 35, that would be an amazing. Sounds crazy because you're 69 in November, but if we can hold 35 next week, I would turn kind of bullish going into February. And again, don't know what's going to happen. A lot's going around the world, but I think the alts then what you would see from the alts is the bleeding would really start to really subside at that point. If we can hold at 35, and I'll give an example from the summer for those of you that are in eGold got down to 75 during the summer, and before BTC even recovered, it made it to 150. Some of these alts do run, so there's going to be some opportunities. If you are brand new, congratulations, and you haven't bought yet, for the next couple weeks, if you like, again, if you're
You're
willing to
getting
wait for a
fantastic
couple months,
prices.
you're getting fantastic prices. If you're willing to wait for a couple months, the coin we just did, VGX, under $2. You heard our price prediction from Dom. You're getting it at 2. He's calling for 75 in a couple years. Again, it's got
Calling
to
for
be a
12 by
long-term
the end
thing.
of the year.
It's got to be a long-term thing, but 184 right now, I'm looking at it. I mean,
I
there
mean,
were people on a
any
waiting
of
list
the
last year.
metaverse plays as well. I mean, you look at Sand, you look at Mana, you look at Phantom, Gala, any of these gaming tokens. You talked about Engine earlier. They're all down right now, and those will make a comeback. People play video games. Adults play video
Mhm.
games. Kids play video games. Men play video games. Women play video games. Everybody does. So
You know, I'm looking
that's going to come back.
some small things that give me hope. Cosmos is staying strong at 34.
Cosmos is
And
incredible.
it was a few weeks ago, it was at 20. And we just had a huge dump. It's at 34 now. It was over 40, but yeah, that shows me that there's still some big money in there. Avalanche still at 66. You might say, well, it's gone down, but it was 10 over the summer. So
That's a sweet price right in there, right in that $60 range. That's a sweet price for Avalanche.
mhm.
That's a good pickup there as well. Like
One of
you
my
said,
favorite.
if we hold
Yeah,
strong through next week in the face of futures and all those longs that are on the books, then like you said, I could see us turning very bullish into February. But we know how the end of the month goes. We know how futures Friday is, and we're already at 35, 36 right now here on Friday night.
36.3. Yeah.
So we've got 7 days until they call those futures. I really honestly think that we'll sort of trade sideways and wick down as we get closer to Thursday, or maybe stay a little bit further down when we get closer to Thursday. And then after Friday, we'll be back around 35 and go
But
north.
hey, I mean, this next week, great chance to buy some BTC. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to look at
Yeah,
it this way.
it's not a negative thing. The price is
Yeah,
down.
right now you're really
Scoop it
buying
up.
for the long term. And again, you don't want to put any money in that you need 2, 3 weeks from now, because I don't see, again, I don't see like all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to put money in Engine and in 2 weeks is going to double. I mean, I don't see that happening. I
It
think
would
it's
be
probably going to
nice.
take some time. But the thing is, when we do recover, just be prepared to take profits. I think we were talking about that before we got on the air, because there will be another dump. we're never going straight up. That's just not the way this market works. Maybe someday that'll change when BTC stabilizes. I think we're at least one or two halvings from that. I don't see that happening
And we
anytime
have to
soon.
get more exchanges to stop offering so much leverage. Yeah, it just creates a situation where it's too tasty for the whales to go in and squeeze and take away those leverage trades and liquidate
Over a
all those
billion,
people.
over in the last 24 hours, over a billion lost in leverage.
You're right. So
Yeah.
you're causing these cascading liquidations, and we run down, all the way to 35. And who's helped by this at all? It doesn't help any of the
Well, the
long-term
exchanges that are
investors. It
making
doesn't
money.
help the short term. So
I'll tell you, Binance is making a lot of money. KuCoin is making a lot of money. So they're going to prey on the weak. But again, this is where you got to make smart decisions. If you're down big on a coin and you believe in it, now's not the time to sell. The time to sell
bring down your average cost.
And this is why you got to be careful, because if you need that money and you have no choice, then you should have been selling when times were good. So I think that's a major lesson talk about is this got to be stuff you can afford to let sit in the market. Otherwise, it's very hard to time. No one really saw this coming. You remember January was supposed to be in a traditional market our top off. We're supposed to be having an alt season right now. We're supposed to be dancing in the streets. Remember, this
depending on who you listen to, it was supposed to be August, and then it was supposed to be Rocktober, and then
we did have
we kept going month by month.
With November, we were doing well. December did not go as planned at all. It was the first time in Bitcoin's bull cycle that had a bad December. And so January normally is the top off and alt season. Obviously, this is not anything like the past cycles. So it makes me think that you're talking about the cycles have been completely broken, or there are still people that say this is an extended cycle, and they're saying we're going into March and April, which would mean
March is coming up quick. Yeah.
So
March is almost here.
Well, maybe we have a really quick pump. We'll see. But I think it's going to be some time. I can't see us getting back to 60 next month. I think it's going to take some time.
No.
But again, if we can stabilize, hey, if 32 to 35 is the bare bottom, that's a pretty good sign for crypto. You got to remember, not too long ago, BTC was at 9K. I think people forget that. So before this cycle started, we were at 9K. Now we're looking at 35 as doomsday. What will be doomsday? What will be doomsday 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Is it going to be 70K, 80K? So
it'll be way above the price you bought it at today.
If you're watching this show, nothing has changed. BTC over the next 5 to 10 years is going to skyrocket. I've seen even more math talking about the fact that 100, 200, 300, 400,000 is coming. It's not coming tomorrow. It's not coming next week. It's not coming next year, but it's coming over the next several years. So if you're in a strong project, you'll be fine. Now, like I said, if you don't believe in the project and you want to get your money out, then you're going to have to wait. Taking the loss now mathematically makes no sense. Wait till the next pump. Wait till you're ahead. Get out of that project.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's also a great time to use USDC as well. Remember, you're getting that 9%. We don't know how long. It's very valuable now. I'm sure a lot of people
you've got to take advantage of that while it lasts.
Yeah. So we'll leave our viewers with one parting shot. Any advice you want to give anyone right now that's really feeling the pain, because it's a tough last 48 hours?
Yeah, I've been there. I know the stress of what they're going through. But just you have to believe in your research. You've done your research. You've bought into something. You know that the fundamentals are great. Like we talked about Bitcoin, there's more addresses now than there's ever been. There's more wallet addresses. The same is true across the board for at least the top 50 cryptos, probably the top 100. So yeah, your portfolio is in the red right now, but this is a great opportunity to get that same thing you believed in at like eGold at 300. You believed in it at 300. you really believe in it at 130, you know, it's not time for you to sit down and say, oh my gosh, my portfolio's so down. It's time for you to sit down and say, okay, where can I maneuver so that I can make sure I grab some of this e-gold at 130 or this VGX below 2 or mana below 2. Those are, you know, you have to have that growth mindset and take a different perspective and you know, just change the way you look at things.
Yeah, and I think next week we're going to be looking at some amazing prices, and we're going to go over that in the show. And again, these are not quick flips. This is not a I wish we could do a quick flip Friday. This is more of a I'm going to buy this coin 2, 3, 4. Maybe if this stretches into a 5 month, we don't know. But at some point, it's turning around. Okay, if you get DOT at 10, at some point you're likely not financial advisors. It's not there yet. You're going to double your money eventually. DOT's
Easily.
coming back. So like it's not 10 now, it's at 19. But if we could go lower, we might get to 10 to 15. I don't
I would
know.
argue that at 19, you'd probably double your money easily.
Probably. But there's going to be some amazing opportunity. You know, Luna was there at 4. They got all the way up to 105 in less than a year, 6 months. So there's going to be some opportunity. We'll talk about that next week. I would say be patient. The worst thing you can do right now is overreact, throw a ton of money at a coin, and then next week you get futures week, and then you're down and you're DCAing. I would say just be patient. Look at BTC.
For me, my strategy this week was a little bit like what you're saying. Is as it's fallen, just take a little bit here, a little bit here. And I honestly, I caught it at what 37. I think it was either today or yesterday. And I thought, oh, that's got to be bottom, and then 35 hit. And luckily,
we got
I
up
didn't
to
throw the whole chunk of change on there. There was still a little bit left. And
we had like a fake out yesterday at 43, and then today we were charging back up to 39, and some people were like, "Oh, maybe we're okay." And then an hour later, we went down 2%. So again, Monday, people are expecting bad economic news. I think this weekend, and weekends are never good anyways. So I like I said, I'm very interested to see if we can hold 35 or stay around there. And then next week we got futures week. It's gonna be a tough week, but again, you're not going to sell next week, I don't think. So you should be okay.
I think weekends will find a way to sell next week, and I think you're going to see more of these cascading liquidations. I think you're going to see leverage trades get liquidated, and that's going to cause more as it's falling. As that forces the price down, you're going to see more options get called, and I think we're going to see a lot of people get hurt. And I like we said, I think we're going to see a strong wick down, but then after that, who knows?
I will make one prediction before we end the show. In a couple months, you're going to hear about how many big time players bought BTCs right now. You're going to hear about, oh yeah, this institution bought 100 BTCs when we were at 35 or 36. So people are buying.
Okay? Imagine you were just a local business and you had a little bit of capital on the side and you bought a BTC at this point, and then a year from now turn around and it's doubled. Look at the profits you've made for your business by doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So, and that's the same goes for you and your personal portfolio. So it works for you the same way it does for a business.
I think we talked about this, mistakes, take the emotion out of it, relax, close the portfolio, take a look at it next week. We'll see where we are. And again, if you're in the red, it's only January. There's a long way to go.
And maybe don't look at your portfolio, just look at the market.
Yeah.
Look for those tasty prices, and maybe don't focus on how much you're down or how many profits you didn't secure or whatever. You don't focus on those negative aspects. Start looking around to see what you can snap up for a real cheap price and then turn over in the next couple of months.
I keep saying parting shots, but I wanted to mention this before we left. I do not think we're in a multi-year bear. The halving in 2024 is less than 2 years itself. And I just don't see BTC going down for 2 years. It's too powerful. So I'm not worried that this is a long, again, this might last for a couple more months, couple weeks. We don't know. But I'm not worried that this is like a 3 or 4. I can't see it. There's no way. The halving's coming up in 2024. But I do think I would be shocked if we didn't get another pump before then. Is that going to be February? Is it going to be March? Going to be April? We don't know. I would hope in the next 3 months we start recovering. We'll just have to see, but we'll be here no matter what to help you guys out. So please, once again, hit that like button. We need and we want some more subscribers. Please tell your friends and family about the show. For AZcrypto and MrFOMO, you guys have a great weekend. Bye-bye.